Well, then all of a sudden we're in the living room and Matt notices water leaking. Well, then we discover this is Labor Day weekend, 3-day weekend, and now Matt's needing to work because the boat could potentially sink. It's not draining. Matt says, of course, this is what happens. It is so crazy. Doesn't he look so pleased?
So came down this morning to do some drone footage downtown Key West at the marinas. Have an authorized airspace waiver, so I'm good there before you guys say anything. I'm Part 107, fully licensed FAA insured pilot, and anytime you fly in Key West, the whole airspace is all zero. Like this, across here, or maybe I can get it here. So we'll have to check it out, fit it, we'll see. Yeah.
Did you guys get it fixed up?
It's working. Thanks.
Oh, nice. Yeah, nice. Well, we got one thing fixed and another thing broken.
Came down, ran into my buddy. He was having some problems. His windlass wasn't working and found out that the safety latch had tripped, so we got that working. But then at the same time, we found that one of the sinks in the dayhead on the big boat was backflowing for some reason. So we kind of got that straightened out, but it's either clogged or sump pump isn't working, so that needs to be fixed. But then when I was looking at the sump pump, I found that the air conditioning pump for the saltwater system has holes in the faceplate and it is leaking and needs to be replaced. So I didn't want to work this weekend, but I guess I'm going to have to. I'm going to run to the shop and see if I have the right pump, and if I did, I'll get changed and into something more like work clothes and come back and see if I can get them hooked up. Last batch of donuts. Glazed Donuts here in Key West. They leave for vacation today. They're going to Belize for a whole month. Sounds like fun. We're going to run these back down to our friends on the boat, and then we're going to head to the house. Good morning, everybody. Going to check out a yacht that we had some work done to. We detailed it. We had the teak cleaned and redone. We did some gel coat repairs, had the props pulled off and conditioned, cleaned up. They were out of balance. That should make a big difference for this boat because it was had a pretty good vibration in the boat when you were running it. And we're gonna look at all that. We're gonna put the dinghy back on the swim platform, and I'm gonna do that one person. So this should be entertaining. I'll see if I can get my camera set up on a tripod so you guys can watch the shenanigans. And here she is. You can see the finish on it is pretty good. Looks nice and bright and shiny. Got all buffed and waxed. Teak's all been cleaned and treated. Looking good. Around the front of the boat. Yeah, the teak looks amazing. Yeah, looking good. All right, let's see. Let's go back around here. All right, looking good. All right, well, I managed to get that thing on there all by myself, which was a chore and a half. Now let's get the straps and strap it down. Whew. So got a call from one of my I don't know, I guess I'll call it a VIP client. Their salon AC is the salon's up to 90 degrees, so ran downtown here. I was in the middle of a job, but that's what you do with your very important people, clients, I guess. So we'll see what happens. We'll get down here. Hopefully it's something easy. And don't you wish all jobs were like that? So I just got done on my buddy's boat there. The salon air conditioning wasn't working. It turned out just to be that, I don't know, the circuit board was glitchy, so I shut the power off, did a factory reset, and it's cooling, and hopefully it's good. If it continues to be a problem, then we'll probably put a new circuit board in it. Like I said, wish they were all like that. Just got done inspecting that boat, making sure it's all ready to go. It's going back to its slip tomorrow. We cleaned and treated the teak, had it detailed, compound buff and wax. Did some other work. The props were redone and reinstalled, and we have a few other things that we'll have to fix on it, but for right now it's looking good, it's looking pretty, and the owner will be happy that we're getting it back into his slip because he's coming down the end of the month. And today we just have one of those jobs, so we need to put new seals in this lip seal carrier right here. But to do that, we have to get this shaft out of this coupling, and these bolts right here are so corroded, and we have we have only this much space to try to get these loose. It's taken me, I don't know, I've got two of them loose, but now they're so corroded they're stuck on there. So we are going to we already tried heat on the nut, but I'm leery about using too much heat because of the transmission. But I'm going to try to cut off these heads next and see how I do with that. All right, wish me luck.
What are you doing? Installing cutlass bearings?
Yeah.
Nice. Cool.
I don't know if you can see the rust that's right there, but it's a long crack. And then on the other side, which is almost impossible to get to, there's a huge hole where it was rusted out. But I just can't get a picture of it.
So today we're working on a complaint for a Northern Lights generator not running, and well, we've got some problems. Come to find out that the exhaust manifold for the raw water side of the house is corroded and cracked and has a big hole in it. Unfortunately, to get to it, we have to take half the generator apart, and I have yet to find out how much or how long. It's really not how much it is for the parts, it's how long to get them, because as everybody knows in the world right now, getting things is difficult, and getting parts for boats is starting to consume more and more of my time every day. I have stuff on order, back order, 6 months. I had a refrigeration unit from Sub-Zero, and they said it was going to be over a year and a half till I could get it. I know it sounds crazy, but I guess that's the world we live in these days. So this is the generator we're having to rebuild. You can see all that staining right in there. That all came about. There's a big assembly that goes right in between that fuel filter and that box there. It's the heat exchanger, and that rotted out, and looks like we need to get a new pump here too. That needs to be replaced because you can see that green stain means that it's leaking salt water there. So we have a whole bunch of parts on order, and we have to rebuild a bunch of this and then clean it all up. And the panels for the sound shield are all removed because the insulation was all degraded and making a bloody mess. Up here, this was the main engine strainer. The old one, it's already removed. We're going to be putting in a new strainer right there, and it's going to have a flush fitting put on, so you can close the through hull right there like it is now, hook a garden hose up to it, and freshwater flush your engine so that it gets all the salt out of it, and it really helps with the maintenance on the engines. We're going to do the same thing with this generator. Right down here, there's a little strainer. We're going to pick that up and put it on a panel, and put that flush fitting in there so that we can flush those. So we shall see. This is the system we're putting in on the boat, and it's got four I shouldn't call them sensors, or transducers, and they emit ultrasonic frequencies that hells growth and also keeps the hull clean. So we'll be putting one up forward on the bow thruster tube, then one underneath the bed in the forward stateroom, then one here in the engine room, and then one all the way in the back of the boat as far back as we can get it. And between those four, that should help keep the boat clean on the bottom, so you have less wear and tear on your bottom paint and you don't have to clean it as much. You'll be seeing a lot more of this project as we go along. So we've got quite a few things to finish up. We'll get there. All right, let's hop on board. We're just going to take our shoes off. Don't want to leave any footprints. Let's hop on board and we'll go down here and take a look. Then we put, so this is a flush fitting. So you close your through hull here, you take this out, you put an adapter in there, and you can hook up a fresh water hose to it and flush the system. And we put all new hose in, new hose clamps. We only use these good hose clamps. They don't have any holes in the bands because those corrode and break. So we put all new hose in because the hose that was in here was from 2006, so that was a little bit out of date. So I just freshwater flushed that motor and generator. We did that for about 20 minutes on the engine and about 10 minutes on the generator. And all you do is you put that flush fit in like I showed you earlier, and you run that fresh water through there, and that gets the salt water out and really helps with engine maintenance. And obviously if you have salt water sitting in something, it can cause corrosion and problems down the road, whereas if you're able to flush it and get that out, it helps prolong the engine and what kind of maintenance you have to do. All right, subscribe, thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions, let me know.